Go ahead.
All right, Mr. Bob?
Up on the top side is, the only thing outstanding there is CBT Transportation is a modem card for, AWAS system. It's literally something from the nineties, the other day from the museum. One way to dial in, and, we've got a couple of invoices at the bottom for, one for AWAS, I think the final for the, tree clearing project. American Equipment is, just, parts and service materials for mowers.
Anybody have any questions? If not, motion on the bills.
I'll move it.
Motion from Mark. Seconded by Brian. Any discussion on the bills? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, carried. David Tang's on his way in the door. Dave, can you hear me?
Yep, loud
Are
and
you
clear.
ready to fire away? Are you ready to fire away?
We're pretty close, yes.
You're ready? Okay. What we're gonna be discussing is, pending litigation, so we need to take this in executive session. Is there any motion to go into executive session? I'll move. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None, carried. We're all out of executive session. And entertain a motion to accept the settlement agreement. A motion from Amanda to accept it. Seconded by Dave. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, carried. We'll get into Cabbage Patch Lane, a subordinate mortgage, and Barry, you can take us away with that.
Thank you. We received a call last week.
Okay, I'll take
from
that, Dave, everybody. Sorry.
Thank you, David.
You're excused.
Thanks much. You will.
the Borrowers Council last week on this project. They are negotiating a loan from KeyBank. And as part of that, KeyBank has asked for a subordinate mortgage on the Cabbage Patch Lane project that's subject to the IDA deal. There's no new benefits, there's no economic assistance requested, but since the IDA has a leasehold interest in that property, you would need to consent to the borrower, in this case Cabbage Patch, putting any additional liens on the facility. So it's just a consent for them to put on an additional mortgage, subordinate.
Question? Yeah, we have a motion to consent to them having an additional mortgage. A motion from Dave, seconded by Mark. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none? Carried. We already did the minutes and invoices, and we'll get on to officers, and you can go through that.
Yes, you have a listing of the officers and committee assignments. We do need to look at our bylaws about having Bridget as secretary and perhaps amend our bylaws because I believe they read right now that has to be a member of the board. But given the duties of the secretary, Bridget is really the best person for this job. So I'm asking for approval of the officers as they are now. Committee assignments, if you would like to serve on a different committee, you can just let us know.
If I don't hear any objections, we can handle the officers and committee assignments as a block. Not hearing any objections, okay, we'll handle them as block. All those, I need a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Motion from Dave. Seconded by Amanda. All those, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, carried. Congratulations all, our condolences on the committee assignments. An annual report, Sue, we'll take that instead of Ryan.
Yes, you have a copy of the annual report in your packet. This is hot off the press today. And Agency 29 did the report for us. It will be distributed electronically if it's approved by both the IDA and the EDC. And it's just a recap of our 2023 year. On page 8, I point out the 2023 statistics, especially the total pilot revenue, $5,456,214. And then it's divided out between municipalities, the county, and school districts. We have 54 active projects, and we leveraged $356 million in private investment. And then we have our traditional on page 9 scorecard, which outlines approved projects.
All right.
Does anybody have any questions on the annual report?
I'll entertain a motion to accept the annual report. I have a motion from Amanda.
Second.
Seconded by Brian. Any further discussion on the annual report? All those in favor of its acceptance?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, carried. And 2, board survey.
Yes, we have the board survey also. Thank you very much for those who answered the survey. We had 5 out of 7 respond. This is like golf, the lower the score, the better. We had mostly 1.4 was the highest score we got on number 2. And there was a comment on that one that all documents should be available 1 week before board meetings, and staff is working towards making that happen. Otherwise, I think we did well, and I appreciate your participation.
All right.
And this will both be filed with our Paris report.
Motion to accept the board survey.
So moved.
Second by Brian, second by Mark. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, carried. And then we get on to the exciting part of the meeting, auditor stuff, and we'll turn it right over to John and let him run us through it.
Great, yes, I think it is the most exciting part, right? I guess maybe not, but I find it interesting. So I'm just going to kind of talk about some highlights and what's in the financial statements. We had met with the audit committee last week and had a good discussion about what's happening at the IDA and the LDC. And so I'm just going to touch on some of the highlights there, but we have copies. You should have copies of the financial statements and the management letter, and I'm happy to answer any questions anyone has as we go through this. But just to kind of touch base on some of the more key items here. So going through the IDA, the financial statement, we have a clean audit opinion on the statement, no material weaknesses or significant deficiencies. So that's good. That's what you're looking for there. In our meeting, we talked about the agency funds. So we broke this is broken up into agency fund and the airport. So we'll address those separately. So with the agency fund, you had a good year. The project revenue was down a little bit, but still very good and consistent. Or you did close on some projects, and overall, you finished with with a surplus of $287,000. So your net position increased $287,000, which is very good. We did discuss the amount due from other funds, which is related to the airport. So you did fund the airport or provide the airport with a $400,000 to help support their operations, because the airport still doesn't generate enough revenue on its own to support its operations. We also talked about, as this number continues to grow, consider whether those monies will ever get paid back. In the past, the board has taken action to settle these amounts and basically consider them a funding to the airport. They're starting to get up again, so keep watching those and consider whether that's going to be an appropriate action or not. Okay, but overall, the agency funds themselves ended very strong. $2,485,000 in net position. Moving over to the airport operations, we did see some positives here. You did engage in FBO to take over services at the airport, which is very positive. You did have projects, ongoing projects again this year, about 184,000 of those, 170,000 of that being funded from grants. However, your fund balance, you did generate another loss this year of nearly $700,000. Okay, so overall, the airport fund still isn't, you're going to advance a couple pages there to get to the airport fund. Okay, so this is the balance sheet for the airport fund, but overall, the airport fund still isn't generating enough revenue to support operations. So overall, it was a decrease of nearly $700,000. Unrestricted net assets down to about $1 million. And you notice that's pretty much the amount due to the, it's approximately the amount due to the agency fund for that balance. So continue to monitor the airport and the operations out there. Look for opportunities to increase revenue and decrease expenses. Okay. We did issue, any questions about the financial statements then for the IDA? Before I just talk about the management letter real quick.
No questions.
Okay. We did issue you a management letter, so some recommendations. Looking at executive director reimbursements, making sure they're signed by the proper personnel. We only had one instance, and we talked through that at the meeting. Again, continue to monitor the airport fund for the operations out there due to continued losses. We did note a corrected action, which is always a positive thing. So you did have an RFP process and engaged FBO services. So we're happy to see that. So that's the IDA. Do you want me to jump right into the LDC or?
We'll wait until you open up the LDC to do that.
Okay, very good. So that's why for the IDA. Again, any questions on that, any of the reports? I will mention you do have draft versions. We're just working on getting the finalized reports out to you. You will have them in time to submit them to the New York State, to the ABO. But not anticipating any changes in what you're seeing.
Okay. And the audit committee met on Friday and moved it forward to the board with a motion to accept. We don't have any questions or objections. We'd like to handle from audited financial statements down to a real estate report in the block. And if you have any questions on that, ask them now or. If not, I'll have a motion to approve all from that all the way down to real estate report. A motion from Amanda. Seconded by Dave. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none? Carried. We have the airport report, financial statements. Those are all been sent to us.
I did not put the financials in there. It
Didn't put the
just didn't come out of there. I kind of
Yeah.
figured we were gonna get hit with enough stuff, so.
No.
Yeah, it would have been the end of February.
Okay, so just the airport report. Anybody have any questions for Bob? If not, I'll entertain a motion to accept the airport report.
So move.
A motion and a second. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, carried. Department update. He's flying somewhere, so motion to adjourn. So move.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, carried. See what we can do. Open up under the LDC. What Jen do there? Get into the minutes. have a motion from Mark to approve the minutes.
Second.
Second by Brian. Any questions or or changes? All those in favor of their acceptance?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, carried. Bills for payment, Mike?
Yeah, we have one, UK, and that was for, when the auditor sent out, letters just to kind of see if there's anything going on. And the attorneys will respond, yes, we have had this many lawsuits, or no, we have any lawsuits. That's the cost that we got charged, from UK to answer that letter. It's just an annual.
All right, well, we entertain a motion on the bills.
Move it.
Motion from Mark. Second by Amanda. Any questions about that $118 bill? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carried. And then officers and committee assignments.
They are the same as the IDAs.
So, any questions on that? If not, I'll entertain a motion to accept that. Motion from Mark. Second by Amanda. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, carried. And then back to John.
Okay, great, excellent. So, again, same situation. We met with the audit committee last week, and I'll just touch on the report. Again, we have a clean opinion, no material weaknesses or significant deficiencies. So a clean audit, which is what we're looking for. Really what we discussed here was very limited activity in the LDC. There were no new projects this year. So really the activity for the year is just the paying of some of your normal annual expenses and the offset by the amount of interest income you generated this year. So overall, we just saw a decrease in fund balance of about $4,000. Okay. Part of your annual expense is getting the audit done, which is a requirement by the New York State. So those are ongoing, but those are your current expenses. So that's kind of the story with the LDC. We had one recommendation in the management letter regarding bank recs and just the timeliness of that. As we understand it, you've already changed that process and have assigned the responsibility for reviewing those recs to someone else. So that's very positive. So that's pretty much it for the LDC. I'll answer any questions anyone has on any of the reports or anything I can help with.
Anybody have any questions for John? If not, if there's no objections, I'll handle financial statements down to real estate property as a block. And no objections, I'll entertain a motion. Accept those reports. Oh, I forgot to say, we met on Friday, we thought it set forward with the affirmative. Committee met and set forward affirmative.
Make a motion?
I have a motion from Amanda, seconded by Dave. Any further questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, carried. Motion to adjourn. Oh, motion from Dave, second by Amanda. All those in favor?
Aye.
Oh, nobody's here to see it, but I beat Chris Jennings' record when I first started on the board. I think I beat his record. I didn't mean to.